ready to talk about damage control. Joe Reichel is in the studio. My microphone seems so low right now. I don't know what happened here. And we are going to talk about damage. There it goes. Okay. Joe is the owner of Damage Control Services. Well, one of them. And I think there are 3 guys total. Right, Joe? 3 guys. Joe
Mike, and Rob.
And you are everywhere. You are everywhere. I saw you at Kiss the Horse. I see you at light up every... Well, we didn't do that one yet. I saw you at the Ghost Walk or whatever we did. I saw you at everything.
Friday night art walk.
There was a Ghost Walk too, wasn't there?
I wasn't there.
No, you weren't there. Maybe it was a psychic thing I did. Anyway, so damage control. This is an opportunity for you, by the way, if you have questions about perhaps a do-it-yourself project, maybe Joe can give you some advice on it.
Sure.
Or maybe you can figure out that you shouldn't be doing it by yourself and call for help.
We end up doing that sometimes.
The number is 622-9622. There you are. How you doing?
Here I am. I'm good.
So you had a good time on Saturday, right?
I did. I got wet, though.
Yeah, it was raining
afterwards,
a little bit. Yeah.
And then working on helping clean things up and put
do you own a horse?
So. I do not.
Do you want to own a horse?
I do not.
Do you ever have a house that's been damaged by a horse? Have you ever had a house that's been damaged by animals? Maybe even.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's gross, isn't it? Because usually it means that they're probably chewing things, or.
Well, we've had homes that rental homes particularly, never one that's an actual one by a homeowner, but we had one that had animals had been living in the house for a while, and the homeowner or the renters didn't take care of anything, or and
it stunk or something.
It stunk. There was feces everywhere, and then
what is wrong with people?
There was a lot of fleas in the house. It was pretty nasty. A lot of garbage. So
that's nasty.
I think there was some disgruntled renters.
Why would you do that to a house? It's crazy.
It's hard to say.
Disrespectful, right?
Yeah, I got a call yesterday. Speaking something very similar, yesterday was a call about a vandalism job. Wondering if we do that, and we have done some work for vandalism. Cleanup caused by vandalism. So that's something we do too. So.
Okay, I think you have a phone call. Either that, I got to push a button again. Good morning. You're on there with Joe. All right, let me do it again.
Good morning.
Hold on. Let me do it again. Good morning. You're on there with Joe.
Good morning.
There we are.
Got a question. We have a countertop that has a laminate, and we've had it for about 5 years. And the little piece that they put on the front that's like an angle or whatever, for some reason it's now separating a little bit. It looks like the underneath it is swollen a little. Is there a way to fix that, or does it have to try to match the whole piece and try to put a whole new face thing on there?
Well, it really depends. That's something that someone would have to come take a look at for sure. As far as to fix that, if it is fixable, it's possible that it is fixable unless it's gotten wet and the wood has swollen to the point where it's not able to come back together, but it is possible to be fixed, or it may have to just put a new piece on the front there. So it's
the possibility of matching that sucker is probably very small. So
if it's only a few years old, probably be able to match it. Probably wouldn't have such a hard time matching it. However, it really depends, what color it was too, and sometimes you can get something fairly close that wouldn't stand out or would look good too. So it really depends.
Sure. Okay. Thank you very much.
Probably, I would suggest calling a cabinet company. We've got several that we work with, and you can call me and I can get you some numbers for people to take a look at repairing that, or just look in the phone book or on the internet. So.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call.
And thank you, Bob. And the phone line is open if you want to call Joe. Right now, the number is 622-9622. That is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. One of these days, I'm going to mess up. You know how you know things like the back of your hand and then you forget them? That's going to happen to me with that. By the way,
isn't it written down somewhere?
It used to be. It's gone. Do you mentioned fleas before. Now, I knew a family that had a dog that when the dog died, that's when the fleas showed up. It was like I don't know. It was kind of, I didn't know that I can explain it. But here's my advice. My advice is don't depend on the store-bought stuff. You got to get a professional, right? You agree?
I agree.
Because I know they tried really hard with these handheld, like they go to Lowe's and buy, it looks professional, but it's not the same.
Well, and there's lots of stuff out there that you can use for it, but your best bet is to call a pest control company and have them come out and treat it. And it's something that's got to be done with fleas. I'm not sure exactly, but I know in the past it's multiple treatments. Because the fleas, they lay the eggs, and then the eggs hatch, several days later. So you need to kill them again in order to. So it's a several day process in order to get them on, to eradicate them.
Did I ever tell you the story about the termites at my mom and dad's house?
Termites? No, I don't think we've talked about that story. But
okay, I'll tell you real quickly. It's a very short story, actually. My mom and dad had a shelf of National Geographic magazines. The termite man determined that those magazines saved their house, and here's why: because you could open up these magazines and see, like a science experiment, all the little tunnels that the termites had made. The magazines were ruined. But the good news was that's all they were interested in. They didn't go into the attic or into anything else.
Wow! Fortunately, they found them in time to keep them from spreading throughout the house.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm guessing that's huge damage. I mean, you literally probably have to sometimes tear down walls, right?
Yes, that's something we deal with quite regularly. You getting into a home, as far as doing some remodeling or restoration work, and you'll find where the termites have gotten into the house, and even a block home, you need to be concerned about where making sure that you have termite treatment, because you still have wood in a block home, and the termites will get in there and still cause lots of damage.
And you have another phone call. Good morning. You're on there with Joe.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Joe, I have a question on a patio sliding door.
Okay.
That where it's older and the rollers wore out and the track is worn and lumpy. Have you ever had good luck with buying those stainless steel strips that go over those tracks and then putting new wheels on?
We have done that. I know I've done a few doors like that in the past, and they seem to work well. And two, a lot of times people have, decided to just replace the whole door. And, that's a little more expensive. You have a little more demolition work. And then sometimes we've had where people have decided to, instead of going back with a sliding glass door, they decide to put the French doors in. Just kind of tired of the old, or wanting a new look, something like that. So it really depends on what you're wanting, or what the final outcome that you're wanting to have.
Yeah, the only thing I was wondering about the French doors is that if the wind caught that and swung one of those open and busted it, broke the glass out, where the sliders you'd never have that problem.
Right. This is true. I've never, I don't know that I've ever seen that being a problem, but if you do have an area where you want to keep them open quite a bit, you might have that problem. I could see where you could have that, but typically putting some door stops on and propping them open, you would alleviate having that problem. But
okay, I'm thinking about maybe putting a couple of those strips on and trying that out. Do you have to get a special rollers for that, or just a standard roller, you think?
I really don't know, because it depends what kind of door that you have, as far as making sure that you match the existing. So you may be able to look on the door somewhere and find what type of door it is, in order to match. Go online and order directly from the company, or find them at Lowe's or somewhere like that.
Okay, well that sounds good. I want to thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Hope it works out for you.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. I love those kind of questions. If I was listening on the radio, I would like that, because you learn something. You learn how to maybe do it yourself.
Well, and that's it. I mean, it's going to be that's going to be quite a project. Nothing that's impossible. I mean, the hardest part would be getting the glass doors out. lifting them and tilting them to get the glass door, off of the frame, and then making sure that it would all fit back in there. But, nothing that's, it's not impossible. It's just going to be kind of a little labor intensive.
Right. And is the brand name important? Like, are there cheaper ones? Because those rollers seem to break quickly in some cases.
And there are more quality, type doors. And two, it really depends how old the door is, how often it gets opened and closed. And I've done some of them where, it's just a matter of getting in there and cleaning out, because lint and, pet hair sometimes gets caught under there and jams up the wheels. So, cleaning it out, putting some silicone spray or WD-40, something like that, in order to free it up sometimes helps too. So.
Do you ever have to literally maybe build something back, like sculpt it, or perhaps use putty to create the corner of something that just you can't buy? There's nothing out there that's for sale.
Well, and sometimes too, like for example, the bottom of the garage door trim, for example, or a trim on the corner of a home, or somewhere where it's easier, or it doesn't make sense yet to replace the wood or to take it apart completely. A lot of times we'll just dig out the rotten wood or that area and then fill it with a wood filler. We use a Bondo mix, and in order to fill that rotten area and then repaint it. So sometimes it's not worth taking it apart completely when you can just patch an area.
Right. The phone number right now, if you have a question for Joe, is 622-WOCA. You're invited to call, ask your questions about what he could do perhaps to help you if you have a damaged home or want to maybe even redo something over at your home. Or maybe you're doing it yourself and you're stuck and need a little advice. This is a good time to call.
Good time to call. Yeah, I was asked a unique question last week. And, pretty much a person I was talking to, they had previous damage to their home, and the insurance company recommended a restoration company to come out and take care of the disaster for them. And, fortunately, everything worked out good. But they asked me, they said, do I have to use the company that my insurance recommends?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good question.
And, the answer to that is no. Anytime you have work done on your home, no matter what it is, you are in charge of who works on your home. It's up to you to make that decision. So, just like when you go to a doctor and, maybe something, personality conflict or whatever with the doctor, you don't feel confident in what he recommends, you're in charge of your body. You do not have to have something done.
I hope so,
or something done by someone that you don't have complete confidence in. So, that was what I told them as far as, you make the decision who works on your home. And, if you're not happy with something, get a second opinion.
Does the insurance company pay, like let's say somebody else has the low bid and the insurance company says you got to go with, that guy. And I say, no, I'd rather go with Joe and his guys. Do they only pay what that guy, in other words, I can go to you, but they're only going to pay what that guy's bid was?
Well, they're going to pay what's fair. The insurance company has a set price for the work that's done, and they may try to pay the low bid. And typically, though, we've never had a problem.
Doesn't happen much.
Well, a lot of times before we start a job, we'll come to an agreed upon price with the insurance company. So, we work with the agent or the adjuster, the insurance adjuster, to come to an agreed upon price, and that's what the work is done for. And sometimes the insurance adjuster will come out, or the insurance company, they'll say, hey, you need to get 3 bids. You don't need to get 3 bids. Because they're going to pay a certain amount.
Oh, really?
They're going to pay a certain amount for the project, and are you sure that? I mean, if you let's just say, for example, you supplied them 3 bids. Which one do you think they're going to choose?
The lowest one, of course.
The lowest one.
Right.
Okay, so the question
Well,
is...
that happens when you have an auto accident.
Well, the question is, do you think that you're going to get everything taken care of for that lowest price? Are you confident in that?
You may not be.
You may not be.
Depends, I guess,
Right.
on circumstances.
So, they may not pay the highest price either, but they are...
But they've got a number already in mind?
They've got to pay a fair price for the project. So, as long as you can justify what it's going to take care of it, and that's what we do. We document everything, and we go through and we price it all out. We use a computer program, and it gives you all of the prices for a certain project, whether it's a square foot price or a lineal foot price, whatever it is, depending on the material.
That's good to know.
And we'll price that out and submit that to the insurance adjuster, and they either agree or disagree. And oftentimes, we're within, by the time we negotiate or, talk about it, we're either right on the same price or within a
well, they don't mind.
$200.
They don't mind taking your payments. Every month,
right?
And then when it's time to make good on what you've been buying, it sometimes give you a hard time and are intimidating.
Well, they're not in the business. They're not in the business to just give away all the money.
That's true.
But they do. They are in the business to take care of you as the insured.
That's what you bought, right?
That's what you bought.
Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
I was wondering, you look at a house, you look at a job, the damage, and let's say a tree fell on the roof, and you'd come to a conclusion, and everything starts, and as you're working along, all of a sudden you find additional damage. How in the heck does that work? Let's say a tree fell on the roof, and there was a lot of damage to the roof and the floor. And when you started cleaning it up and tearing it up and replacing stuff, you say you find the header is like split.
Right. And
how does something like that happen? I'll hang up and then listen. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that call and the question. That is a great question, and that's something that we find quite regularly. And the insurance adjusters know this. There's oftentimes things that are hidden that you can't see or you don't find until you start into the project. And for example, a tree damage situation like you're talking about, whenever you maybe pulling off the roof and the plywood on the roof, you find that there's more broken trusses or things like that, or under the insulation things are broken. So we do run into that. Typically the first thing that we'll do is call the insurance adjuster, let him know what we've found. We'll take lots of pictures of it, document it, and that is an additional cost or additional expense to the project, and that's the way it's billed. So, they never. We try very hard, and they try very hard to make sure that it's all taken care of up front. But oftentimes, depending on the project, they do realize that there are going to be additional expenses and adjustments that need made, and they typically do not have any problem. As long as you can prove it, and either they'll come out and look at it, or we'll just take pictures and send it to them, and they're able to in order to justify that more work does need done, and they go ahead and we'll write an additional additional payment for that.
That's good. Yeah, it sounds like most people are fair.
And your insurance company does, like I said, they're working for you, and they want to take care of you as a client. They don't want you to be upset and disgruntled, and at the end of this, go get different insurance or go somewhere else. They want to take care of you.
So do they all ask for 3? I mean, do they all say, go find 3? It's like the Wizard of Oz. Go bring back the broom.
Not necessarily, and that's where, we were dealing with a lady, and she was insured by, or not insured. She had some work done on a washing machine, and the company that came out to do it, or hired a guy to come out and take care of it, he didn't put the drain hose back in right.
Oh, no.
So she's doing laundry. He leaves. She's doing the laundry, and as she's working or doing this laundry, water's just flowing out
Oh, no.
into her house, and it was going into a spare bedroom, and she didn't even know it was happening. So several hours went by, and all of a sudden she finds out that the floor's wet,
Oh, my
lots of damage. She calls the company, and they said they would be back in touch with her, and they never did. So now there's mold growing, and they tell her you need to collect you need to get 3 estimates and send them to us to fix this. And when they finally got back in touch with her, and in talking to her, is no, you just need to get it taken care of, and as long as it's done correctly and fairly, you just submit everything to the insurance company, and they'll take care of it. So
who told her to find through the washing machine people?
Right, the people that insured the.
Oh, okay.
That insured the
work?
The worker, yeah.
Oh, okay. So which insurance company actually helped her out, her own or theirs?
Well, this would be their insurance company that's paying for it.
Okay. Wow.
It's not her homeowner's insurance, because that wouldn't...
See, that's terrible.
Yeah. It is terrible, and that's where,
Especially if it goes into a room you never use. So she didn't find it for how many days?
There were several days, and then whenever, she didn't know what to do in order to clean it up, so she called for help, and then they never got back in touch with her.
Oh.
So
did you have any projects this week that were different, interesting, maybe even fun?
Well, we are currently putting cabinets back into a home that it was a lightning strike home.
Oh, wow.
I was there, went by the house yesterday, and looking at it, our guys are installing the cabinets. We had a cabinet installer come, but we've got to run new wiring and new lighting and stuff for them so that they can get everything taken care of, and trying to figure out the best way to take care of all this. It was kind of a really neat job watching all of that, taking, just the guys working and getting it all done. So that was one of the projects yesterday I went on, and then we had the guys pouring a 4-foot by 4-foot concrete slab outside of a door on a tree job that we're working on. So a little project like that. So I posted that picture on Facebook. It's kind of one of those things you don't necessarily think about, a disaster restoration company taking care of something that small, but we do what it takes in order to get the job done and take care of the homeowner.
You know what I can see? I can see a board game called Damage Control. you roll the dice, and it says a tree fell on your house.
What do you do?
Go back 3 steps.
Drop back and punt, right?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That would be a fun game, I think.
You think?
I don't know, maybe.
Just that picture of the 3 of you guys right in the middle of the board, right? And the music always plays.
There you go.
As you're playing the game. And Thanksgiving, for some reason, brings up to mind board games. I don't know why.
Well, it's a great time to play board games, I guess.
Do you have any that you can't stand? Not that this has anything to do with
Not
anything.
necessarily can't stand. I like the game of Risk. I like Life. That was a game I played a lot as a kid.
Did you get married in life? Did you like when you got that little pink
then you
peg?
have kids, and and then Monopoly. I like Monopoly.
We all play Monopoly, right?
There you go.
Got to use money.
Lots of money. And lots of homes that get damaged.
That's right. They get thrown around. Joe, what is your phone number?
My phone number is 352-817-6574, or you can email me, joe@damageflorida.com.
All right. Fun show as always, Joe. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Great questions today. I enjoyed it.
Good ones. Good stuff. All right. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
ABC News Now. I'm Karen Chase.